Turn the light on. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Light. Okay, how y'all doing? Y'all tired of these people? I am. Lord Jesus. But we're here. You know, it's what we have. It's who we're faced with. It is who we are faced with. We ain't been night owls in a while. Some of y'all always past midnight. It's 10:30 over here, 10:23. Melody, it's 7 o'clock for you, ain't it, over there? It's weird to think about because it's pitch dark over here. The earth doth spin. Now, I didn't watch because I don't want to listen to them speak and all that. I didn't watch her hearing or questioning that she had where she didn't answer not a piece of question that people asked her. I ain't watched that part. It's 1:30 c.m. I don't go to sleep until tomorrow, 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So it's my day is just starting over here. It is just starting over here. Oh, see, you're already on Saturday. That ain't right. It's 4:30 there. But like I said, I didn't watch her hearing because, but this child here, not only did you not answer any question, but then got defensive and sassy and all these different types of things. They ask you directly, do you know, are you aware, something around in there, that Donald Trump was at a party with underage girls, and you're like, Hey, what about that Dow Jones, though? Girl, get out of here. What is wrong with these people? Satan, come get your kids, please. And thank you. See, they're right on the bottom. You'd call the devil by name. Be prepared to entertain, as I always say. Come get your children. But we're going to survive. We ain't got no choice. We are going to survive. You at work? Okay, well, I'll keep you company for an hour and a half. So let's see. The future of Bondi Pam Bondi. Because, mind you, do I think anything gonna happen to this child? No. But you never know, because that was not a very good showing, I will say. Well, let's see. Just open it right on up then, shall we? Okay. Okay. Ooh. That's in the house of the government. A lot of exposure, a lot of stuff coming out. This is going to be the beginning of disaster for old Bondi Pam. Right there in the house of the government. I think so too, Mike. Yes. Yep. Trying to stick her chest out because she didn't want to admit that she was afraid and flustered. And protecting pedophiles, which is right here. Government in the house of lovers. Protecting your buddies or your main buddy. Secret agenda in the house of justice. High priestess in the house of justice. Justice in the house of high priestess. She's manipulating the law to keep secrets, which we know that, but there it is. If you needed proof, there it is. Manipulating records too, the house of the devil, devil in the house of manipulation, manipulation in the house of records. Not that we didn't know that, but there it is. Magician, position 1, the devil is in house magician. Manipulation, corrupt manipulation. The magician is in house wheel of fortune. Wheel of fortune covers records, money, time, calendars, that type of thing, fortune, fate, astrology. Manipulating records. Magician is manipulating or power over records, because it's also a card of power. And then records are in the house of the devil. Corrupt records. Or records about corruption, or records about breaking the law or something immoral, which is what the devil also represents. And that's interesting too. The emperor in house tower, somebody's power is going to be taken away. We'll see what that means. Okay, let's see that. So we have the devil, the justice, the chariot, the lovers, and the tower. There is a relationship here where she is trying to help someone. Now, mind you, I want you to keep this in mind. I could be biased, so please take this with a grain of salt, but because there are different ways to read cards. But I think she is trying to help someone get away with crimes, and that's going to blow up in her face. Why do I say crimes? Corruption. The devil is what the devil is. Corruption, justice. Corrupted justice. She's working with someone. The chariot is a card of teamwork. The lovers would be your friends or family or somebody that you're close to or somebody that you have a bond with or even a business deal in the majors. And so that person, whoever she's trying to work with here, it all blows up. Those people are connected to the government. The tower is in the house Hierophant. Hierophant governs the government. And so that explosion, that unraveling with the tower is going to take place within the government. So these people here are connected to the government. The justice, she is using her position to do that. Justice is in house high priestess. High priestess governs secrets. Not just secrets, but knowledge that you have that the public does not. The plot would be like more of a moon. So this is not like some big dirty scheme, but she knows something that we don't know, but she's also trying to hide it. And that's where it blows up. because this forces the exposure. It can't force exposure if it's already exposed. And so if it's something that's not already exposed, then it gets forced exposure. So that means you're hiding something here. Whatever it is, you're using your position in the Justice Department to do so. Not only are you using your position in the Justice Department to do so, but that is corrupt and against the law. If I got, say, the moon and the justice, then that would be a plot within the justice system, but it's not necessarily illegal. It's just something that looked at as playing favoritism or something like that. That's corrupt. You can't get more corrupt than the devil. Corrupt justice working together with friends, and it blows up in the government. The friend is a man. The lovers is in house emperor. Emperor is a man with the position of power. Could be Donald Trump, could be anybody, but it's a man in position of power. Now, the sad part about all this is there's 50,000 men in positions of power around her, all stuck in the Epstein files or something like that that she is covering up for. So it could be anyone of them. I think it's Donald Trump. When it comes to something being destroyed, it's probably not him, because I don't see him losing power anytime soon over this. But there is a man here with a position of power, because again, lovers is in house emperor. Emperor is in house tower. Tower is in house hierophant. So that person too is still connected to the government some way, somehow. He loses his position, he loses his power, he loses his reputation, he loses all kinds of things because of that corruption within the government and secrets. I don't know who he is exactly. But there's corruption, government, secrets, him. Corruption, justice. Justice and the high priestess share houses here. This is in house high priestess, that's in house justice. Secrets that she's covering up. Information, I'll say it that way. And then him, again, in-house tower, tower in-house hierophant. He's connected to the government but loses his position because of this corruption that she's trying to hide. Hierophant, the temperance, the empress, the death, the magician. She's trying to slow walk something too. Like big time. She's not, well, she's trying to slow walk everything. She's not cooperating. The temperance is slow. Slow and steady wins the race. It's not slow in a bad way, it's just slow. Because it's the card of healing and sobriety. And so that's like one of those one step at a time type things. But here with the Hierophant, that's the government. Something's going slow that needs to be brought into the world. The Empress is the card of birth. It's bringing something forward. Death is the card of change. And then Magician is the card of power, skill, or manipulation. So something here needs to come out, Empress, but she is manipulating its delivery. Temperance is in house Chariot. Chariot would be working together, but Chariot for me is also slow because it's not moving. You have to have diplomacy. You're supposed to work with the other side, and that's the thing she is trying to stop. Even other Republicans want her to reveal this, that, and the other thing. The Thomas Massey man coming out saying, I'm not suicidal, just in case y'all needed to hear that. So here is something within the government that is going very slow because she is changing the way it's being delivered. It's records. Manipulation with the Magician is in house Wheel of Fortune, records. Also money trails, paper trails, things of that nature. The Death is in house Hermit, investigations. So she's trying to stop investigations. She's trying to stop inquiries. She's trying to stop anything where the Hermit would be looking into something else. The Hermit presents in the read, but it's in house World. The World is card of the audience, the people that are looking into something, the group of people, large group of people that are looking into something. Also, it is a card of lessons, therefore it's a card of information too. But this information goes deep because the World is the very last card in the tarot. So this is like a whole strand of how we got here type of information. So she's hiding tons of info, or trying to. The Wheel of Fortune, or the world, is in-house hangman. So again, stalling and delaying. The hangman is also about stalls, delays, perspective change. She wants you to look at something else, which is why when they ask her about Trump, she's talking about the Dow Jones. So she's trying to get you to look at something else because they're trying to investigate, and she's trying to stop that. Death bringing an ending to investigations. Records. Quit looking at stuff. Quit looking over here. Quit looking at the money trails, the paper trails, the email strands, and the this, that, and the other thing, all within the government trying to slow walk it. Because if you can slow walk it for 4 years, then you ain't got nothing to answer to, because you can disappear and he can disappear. Or he can die and you can disappear. Or vice versa. High Priestess, the world, the fool, the sun, the wheel of fortune. There will be something else to come out here about records, though. This is not what I think some of them are doing too with the Epstein records is because there's a narrative, and I'm going to read about it on Sunday, but there's a narrative that they're trying to paint that Donald Trump in 2006 called the cops on Jeffrey Epstein, saying that Jeffrey Epstein was doing horrible things and you should look into him. They were tweeting that and retweeting and retweeting and retweeting that all day. See, you libs, you don't even get the right information, this, that, and the third, because Donald Trump tried to be the person to stand up against Jeffrey Epstein in 2006. Like, anybody believes that. And so here, there's something where a successful distraction may be made. The High Priestess is the information she has, no one else has. Again, High Priestess in house justice, this rests with her office, it rests with her. The world is in house hangman, that is a perspective change on all of this deep-rooted information. The hangman is in house fool, which means this here is going to be something new that she's going to release. The fool is in house death. She may find some sort of information about women and Jeffrey Epstein that distracts from the rest of what people are trying to find out. They want to know why Donald Trump appears in the Epstein files more time than God appears in the Bible. They want to know this, that, and the other thing, and she may create a distraction successfully now here with some other record release. That record is also corrupt and talks about immorality, because that record is in-house devil, but it is manipulated, devil in-house magician. Now, the sun is in-house temperance, which means this is going to look like maybe Donald Trump was a hero, or maybe he was someone who tried to save the day, because this is in-house temperance. Temperance is healing, protection of thy heart and thy spirit. The fool would be your Donald Trump, and he is in house death, where he tried to change things. He tried to be an ambassador for change or something of that nature. She is going to create a distraction. People are going to talk about it for a week and a half until they realize exactly what it is that you are doing. Again, grain of salt, because I could just be biased. The Emperor, the Strength, the Judgment, the Star, and the Moon. She is trying to hide a man here, so this is probably redactions of some kind, because this is hiding. This is the man. This man is in House Tower, so that's not going to work. The Strength, the Judgment, and the Star. There is going to be something around this person's abuses of celebrity or his celebrity life. He's gotten, or he has stories that were written about him way back when that never materialized. Kind of like you heard rumors about Cosby, and then way later all of the stuff kind of hit the fan. You heard stories about Weinstein, and then later stuff hit the fan. This person has had stories before in this line, and nothing was ever done. And so He's connected to someone, some way, somehow. I wonder if it's Kid Rock. You know, I heard the rudest thing about Kid Rock. It ain't funny, but oh my God, it was something to hear. I think it was the Majority Report or something like that. The people said they got it from. I seen it in a comment section on somebody's video, and they said that Kid Rock is another name for Epstein Island. I fell out. I really did. So now he can be synonymous with being Epstein Island. His name is Kid Rock. Lord have mercy. Anyway, but there's a person here. This person's famous. This person's famous in the way Elon is famous. He hasn't done anything that we would consider celebrity worthy. He's well known, I should say it that way. Like Bezos is well known. He's not a singer or an actor or like we would think celebrity. He's more of a well-known personality. So like a Elon or a Bezos or a Trump or something like that. But that guy, he's going to get exposed. She's trying to hide him for some reason. I don't know if he's ingrained with Donald Trump or if he's a politician now. You know, sometimes famous run for office, or if he's in a position. Again, he's well known. And he may be in some sort of leadership thing to where he can call some shots. Hopefully it's Peg Seth and they can get him out of there. But there is some connection with all that other garbage. He's going to get exposed, though. The devil, the Hierophant, the high priestess, the emperor. There is a corrupt man there. He shall be exposed. He's in House Tower, corrupt within the government, keeping secrets. Also, she may be called upon. Let's say that some info comes out about that whole whistleblower thing that Gray Stripe. What's the girl name with the gray stripe in her hair? Gabbard. That there may be something that they know they hid or did that could call for an investigation by the DOJ, and then she doesn't do that. Because this is corrupt within the government, but it's withholding information. And so she is supposed to be doing her job as head of the DOJ to make sure no one is above the law, but she is trying to protect people left, right, and sideways. The problem with that homegirl is there's a whole bunch of them that have to rest upon your shoulders and hide under your tent. At some point, one of them gonna fall out, and ain't nothing you can do about it because there's too many under there. But someone here gets exposed. This person was in charge of they were in charge of something that should be investigated. This had nothing to do with Epstein necessarily. This is something that should be investigated by the DOJ, and he should be brought to justice. I think it is a man, and he may be in one of the alphabet things in the FBI, CIA, NSA type of thing, because this is high priestess is dual identity for me. So this is like a person who is regular citizen and then officer type of thing. So, or a cross dresser, but there is someone here with dual identity. And so they could be civilian one way and then whatever the next way within the government. Justice, temperance, the world, and the strength. I think this is some sort of tribute or leeway given to someone like ICE or something, like where you should, because mind you, what they're trying to do, because she's giving someone the advantage over something where they should be at the disadvantage. But this has something to do with mobilization. So ICE or something like that, they want to cancel the investigation into the Renee Good case. They were supposed to be investigating the doors, the bullet holes, the blood splatter, that type of thing. And they want to shut all that down. The FBI wants to stop this, that, and the other thing. So there's some sort of legal thing here where they are trying to give the advantage to the person who should not have the advantage. So like an ICE or something like that. There are investigations by the FBI, and there should be prosecutions, but I don't see that happening. I'm not saying it's them specifically, but there's something like that where she's giving the advantage to the enemy, is what I'm going to title. I was trying not to say that word because that's more biased than it should be, but to the enemy, it is what it is at this point. She's giving the advantage to the enemy. So whether that's ICE or whether that's just Donald Trump's administration doing whatever it is that they can get away with. Now, mind you, there's another man, the president of Colombia, who wants the Hague to investigate Donald Trump for war crimes in the Caribbean. So I'll read on that on Sunday too. So there's a bunch of stuff that she needs to be doing to take this administration to task, but she's not going to, of course, because why would she? But she's giving someone the advantage there. But it's a group, but it's a mobilization type of thing. So it's a bunch of people on the ground, like an ICE. And they're causing terror because the government gave them permission to do so. This is calm and quiet, and that is the opposite. This is the government, that is the Justice Department. They're getting the leeway to cause terror. And again, mobilization. But it's successful. Okay, the Chariot, the Empress, the Fool, and the Judgment. You know, there's something about a bridge being shut down, and they're like going car to car type of thing, saying that they're looking for someone. But there's some kind of bridge being shut down. It's something over water, though. Not like some overpass or something. This is, there's a bridge being shut down. But this is not appropriate is the word I want to say, but that's not the right word. It's not something they need to do. But there's a bridge being shut down. And like they want to do searches and things and stuff like that. Okay, the Lovers, the Death, the Sun, the Star. She's changing the fate of a man in power, possibly Donald Trump, because Lovers in House Emperor. But she's bringing him success for something because she is providing massive distractions. The Star is in House Sun. Tons of success for that man. Tons of it. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of success for that man. The Sun is in House Temperance, so she gets something to calm down and to back off, and then large amounts of success for him, not just now, but going forward. because she changes the eyes of an investigation, or she changes the target of an investigation. That's change, and death is in house hermit. Hermit is the card of investigation. So there's her, the lovers is in house emperor, the man in power. So she brings him change, success, in a better future. But that future spans or goes for a while. There's a bridge in Canada, Canada to the US. Is ice on it? Because there's somebody shutting it down for goofy reasons, like something they don't need to do. But there's a bridge being shut down. The Tower, the Magician, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Moon. They're muddling up records, which we know that already, but there it is. But it'll come out because the Tower is exposure of manipulation of records and confusion. Let me follow the Moon. Moon. Judgment. There is, Trump wants it shut down. Oh, there you go. I think they will try to do that. The Moon, Judgment. They're trying to finalize a case that she should technically have nothing to do with, but anyway, Judgment. Oh, that's it. Moon, Judgment, back to the Moon. A judgment in the favor of the defendant in the amount of favoritism and nepotism and all other kind of tisms. The Moon goes to Judgment, Judgment goes back to the Moon. So she is giving someone favor in a court case. No way to tell who, because it's only those two cards, but and it knights to it too. So anyway, let's follow the Devil. The Devil is manipulation. So it's in house Magician. There is Magician. That's in Wheel of Fortune, which goes back to the Devil. Yep, corrupt records. Death to the Fool. The Fool to the Hangman. So there is a change in perspective, a new perspective. They're trying to create this new narrative that Donald Trump is actually the hero of the Epstein saga. This goes back to World. This is the change in that narrative. They want people to look at it a different way. There is your audience. They want the audience to look at Donald Trump as a hero. The hermit's in death back to that's where we started. So they want us to see him as some sort of hero. So they're going to go up a little bit more with that whole Donald Trump called the cops on Epstein, blah, 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 blah thing. So let's go to government. Hierophant, Tower, Emperor, Lovers, back to Hierophant. So she's helping her buddies, but this is going to, here's the thing. We're all going to see it. It's all going to blow up in her face, but that doesn't mean she gets fired. It doesn't mean she loses her job or none of that. It just blows up in her face, kind of like that hearing did, where she was hemming and hawing because she didn't know what to say. And then trying to act all belligerent like you tough like that. Told that man, don't ever accuse me of a crime. Well, I'm glad you know it's a crime. Meanwhile, answer my question, please. When did you know and when did you stop knowing it? Corrupt. The Empress to the Chariot to the Temperance to the Sun. So she is going to be working with someone successfully, mind you. Again, a lot of favoritism to give access and strength to a woman. And that woman is connected with that guy, so that's probably a Ghislaine type of thing. She's going to give her a little leniency of some kind. She's looking for, what was it, immunity? Not immunity. What did she call it? It was called something else, wasn't it? What's the word? But she's looking for clemency. Is that what she said? She's looking for something to where she doesn't have to plead the fifth and blah, blah, blah. So they are looking for some sort of route to get that woman an upper hand. So they are working on that. Less clemency. Okay, she's looking. They're leaning a little bit her way. Again, the Empress. There's a woman there, and the Empress goes to the Chariot. The Chariot is working together. The Chariot goes to the Temperance. Temperance is also a quid pro quo, but it's like trying to give someone a better outcome of something, because again, it's the patience card. It's the healing of traumas and things that you're going through and things that are a little heavy upon you, trying to help you alleviate that burden a little bit. The Temperance goes to the Sun. Success goes to the Star, which is a better future. The Star goes to the Strength, again, upper hand, and the Strength goes back to the woman. So they're trying to give her the upper hand by working with her and making things easier for her. Lovers to the Government. Is she married, Bondi Pam? Let me look it up. Bondi Pam. Is she married? Pam Bondi married. Let's see what the internet says. Yes, but she never had kids. Divorced. She was divorced twice. Garrett Barnes and then Scott Fitzgerald. She's in a relationship since 2017. Okay, well that's good enough. Divorced twice, but she's now just shacking up. Okay. Because here with the Lover's card and the Hierophant, there is a man here. How old is he? Is he older than she is? In 1996, so she has been in a relationship with John Wakefield. Oh, Lord. Wikipedia, what you talking about? Her younger brother, Bradley Bondi, is a lawyer. In October 2025, a man with an existing criminal record was arrested and charged with offering $45,000 bounty to kill Bondi. Jesus. The suspect posted on TikTok that he wanted Bondi dead or alive, but preferably dead. Jesus Christ. What'd you do to him? Anyway, so she's shacking up with John Wakefield. Okay. Anyway, point for all of that was there's a guy here in her life that may be exposed for like a religious extremist type of thing. Lover's card, because that's her dude. And then here in the Lover's card is the Hierophant. So religion and conformity and that type of thing. But it's in the Tower, so something is going to come out, and then there's the man there, back to the Lovers. So he may have some sort of extreme view. Now, the problem with the extreme view is it could be surrounded by the lack of moderation, and so it's extreme, lack of moderation, and corrupt or immoral. So there could be, and I'm not saying this is what it is, but there could be a man in her life that believes you can get married at 13. Or there could be a man in her life that has this subservient mindset to where women are here and then men are way up here type of thing. There's something corrupt and immoral about his view. Now, immoral is subjective. But with the devil over the temperance, I think most people would see it that way if they were looking at it objectively. No matter who it would be, type of thing. But he's got a extreme view of some kind. I think she's a Scientologist. Well, let me look and see. You know, the internet knows everything. If it ain't on the internet, it ain't true, right? Why just ruin your whole life for Donald Trump? I don't understand why people line up to do it. It's ridiculous. I mean, she was doing it already because, mind you, Trump University was shut down when she was the AG in Florida, and she got a fine of $25 million when he started his presidency, even though people wanted way more than that. But, you know, whatever. Let's see. RE. Oh, there it is. Bondi's personal religious beliefs have no place in shaping policy, and imposing them not only undermines the separation of religion. Okay. Oh. Pam Bondi's ties to Scientology explained. Interesting. Interesting. A defender of religious liberty. Okay. She is now linked to the Christian evangelical end times demonionist new apostolic reformation. What the hell kind of sentence did I just read? Okay. Jesus Christ. A former Scientologist. She was Scientology. There you go. Well, I don't think you ever, can you be former? You can be former Scientology, I guess so. But this thing said she is part of the this, that, and the other thing. Pam Bondi, a lawyer and a lobbyist, spouse, single, twice divorced, a former Scientologist. Bondi is now linked to the Christian evangelical end times dominionist New Apostolic Reformation, or NAR. Okay. So she's a Christian evangelical end timer. Why do you want to be in government if you think you're going to die? Anyway. But yes, cult mentality. Definitely. She just changed the name of her religion, but she still has the same type of mentality. Well, this dude here has the same thing. Mr. Fitzgerald. Her boyfriend is got extreme views on the world and the way it works. All the isms, more than likely the homophobias, the racisms, the sexisms, the ageisms, and the this-isms, all of the isms right there. Interesting that man's law and corruption is over divine law and healing. But anyway. The world is in Hangman. So that is, she's trying to paint a different picture for the audience to eat up. The world goes to the hermit, though. Hermit goes to death, death goes to fool, fool goes to hangman, back to world, trying to paint that picture that the fool is the hero. Because she wants investigations to stop. She wants the rumor mill to stop. She wants people to stop trying to link Epstein with Donald Trump. I have a quote, though. It says, where'd it go? It says, terrific guy. Y'all seen that one? Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side. But he don't know Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. But he don't know Jeffrey Epstein. But he's a terrific guy. And he likes kids like I do. That's what you meant to say. Beautiful women. Some are on the younger side. Why would you say that? And this ain't got nothing to do with this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. That other fool, if some congressman got on TV talking about how the Bad Bunny was saying bad words at the Super Bowl and he was disturbed and all this, that, and the other thing. Meanwhile, I guarantee you, Bad Bunny ain't say nothing about statutory mandatory. You ain't got a problem with that? Mm-hmm. Spell your name for me so I can see if it's in these files, please. Thank you. Okay. Well, that's it. That's all I got. That's Pam Bondi for today. For today. That's all I got. March the 1st is the beginner's class, tarot beginner's class. If you would like to reserve a spot, send me an email at TarotsApprentice@gmail.com saying you would like to reserve a spot. I'm not taking payments yet because in case the class doesn't go, then I have nothing to refund. But I should have no distractions between here and there, so we should be good to go March 1st. I will be teaching from the Rider-Waite. It happens at 2 p.m. Pacific on Zoom. It costs $100 and it is a 6-week course. We meet every Sunday at 2 p.m. It is recorded just in case you cannot make it. But again, if you would like to reserve a spot in the beginner's class, send me an email at TarotsApprentice@gmail.com. If nothing else, I will see y'all on Sunday. We'll be on my channel and we'll read on this stuff even further because I have a couple Bondi questions I got to ask. So until then, y'all have a good night.